Mr. Fuentes, how would you respond to the criticism that your advocacy for free speech is not in defense of any liberal, enlightened principles, but rather as a pretense to give yourself a platform for extremist views?
Well, I would say that somebody like Charlie Kirk should be consistent with his views. You know, he says he's in favor of free speech. He says he's in favor of debating anyone, anytime, anywhere. I think he should live up to that. And I do believe in free speech. I believe that I'm, of course, not a liberal. I don't identify as a liberal, but I do believe that freedom of expression in politics is something that helps us find solutions. You know, if you read the first arguments for free speech, they came from John Stuart Mill. You know, he wrote about this. He made a utilitarian argument that free speech allows us to entertain ideas that will help fix society. You know, that only if we can have a free discussion about problems and solutions can you find the proper problems and solutions. And I think so when we look at what's happening now, it's indispensable to have free speech so we could talk about the problems in our country and the solutions. So, I mean, that's why I think it has value, but I'm not a liberal.
Aren't the positions that you're advocating for fascism in another name?
No, I don't think so. I'm not a fascist. I'm a paleo-conservative. Why? Do you think I'm a fascist?
They're just thinking that you're coming in to use the state to push what you want, and they think of you to be more of somebody like a fascist. That if you were a different, that's what they want.
What does he want? What
Yeah.
does he want?
Nick, you advocate for militant ethno-nationalism, do you not?
No, I don't. Ethno-nationalism? When have I ever advocated for that?
Okay, yeah.
Never happened.
Interesting.
Well, day in and day out, your positions are advocating to preserve the white majority by any means necessary.
That kind of loaded language is not what I use on my show. What I've said is this about demographics. I've said that America's undergoing an historic, rapid, and radical demographic change.
Yes.
You know, we brought in 60 million immigrants since 1965, legal immigrants.
Oh, wow.
And in the next 100 years, immigration will account for a massive, almost 100% of the population growth in America. We're supposed to bring in like 100 million people by like 2070, something like that. So the question is this. Does this demographic change have an impact on our country? Does it have a dramatic impact on
Yes.
Is that impact going to be good or bad? I think largely it's going to be bad. And that's all I've said. And so whether you're white, black, purple, whatever it is, you cannot completely transform the population of the country overnight, practically speaking, and expect to get the same country, or in many cases get a country that's as good. So what I'm in favor of is a cohesive and stable country. And you know, as a black person, you look at the history of the country, and we have been here, whites and blacks have been on this continent for 500 years. So why is America becoming a continent now where it's going to be in the future 35% Mexican and 15% Asian and 15% black? And so I think even blacks have a little bit of a stake in what we're talking about. You know, and I know this argument's used a lot, but it's true. Who does immigration hurt the most? It's blacks. Because the jobs that a lot of the illegal and working class legal immigrants are competing for are jobs that blacks work.
Yep.
So in many ways, and that's one of the problems is that blacks vote for Democrat, 91% in the last election. But there should be an alliance in protecting the historic American nation. Blacks have a stake in that too, and that's where it's not ethno-nationalism. I would say that blacks have been here forever too. We're not in favor of kicking anybody out or anything like that.
But you're not against...
that makes sense to me.
But you're not against immigration, you're against non-white immigration.
I'm against immigration for now. I'm against all immigration, for indefinitely, frankly.
Because I interpret that to mean because it dilutes the culture here, and you get a whole different kind of nation.
Exactly. You can't bring in different people and have the same country. It's that simple.